praying. Out of Abraham, who did the Lord say, tell Abraham who the chosen people would be?
The chosen people?
Yes.
The Jews.
Right. Which come out of whose seed?
Isaac.
Oh, okay, good. Very good.
And do we actually fear the Most High? Do you actually know what it means to fear the Most High? Because you got a lot of people say they fear the Most High. You got people say that they have faith until you're actually put to that test. So Most High said that all things are tried through adversity of affliction. That's how you determine who's for the Most High and who's not for the Most High. It's easy to praise the Most High when everything is good. But it's another thing to praise the Most High when everything around you seems to be falling apart. So with that being said, go to Psalms 34. Let's go to Psalms 34 and 1. And when you get that, let's read it.
Psalms 34 and 1. I will bless Yahweh at all times.
See what it said? I will bless the Most High at all times. Whether I'm doing good or doing bad. Will bless the Most High at all times. So let me ask you a question. When you're doing bad, are you really doing bad?
Me.
Question. Anybody.
Me.
If you are going through something, does it necessarily mean that you're doing bad? A lot of us think that though. That's the mindset of most people. Because when we don't have our way, we think that we're doing bad. The Most High says that my ways are not your ways, neither are my thoughts your thoughts. We all pray, right? Right? We all pray? And we pray for what? Prosperity. We pray for better things in our life, right? How do you think those things are going to come about? How do you think those things are going to come about?
Through faith.
Through faith? Yeah, faith is going to be a part of it.
By servicing the Most High.
By servicing the Most High is part of it. Lawadi?
By doing it consistently.
By doing it consistently, that's a good answer, my sister. Following the law. So all those are good answers. But you know how it's going to come about? Through adversity. Because if you were doing it right, why would you need to pray for something that you don't have already? And if our way was right, then why would we need to constantly go to the Most High? So when you set your prayers up, the Most High is responding to your prayers, but He's adjusting you in order for you to meet what it is that you're trying to obtain in life. And when that thing started to happen, that change started to happen, it don't come through joy, it comes through pain. Read that again.
I will bless Yahweh at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth.
Read.
My soul shall make her boast in the Most High.
See, you're supposed to be boasting in the Most High. I don't care what the circumstances are. You're supposed to tell Satan, you're a liar. Because Satan is going to come to you just like he came to Job. Because he's going to the Most High just like he went to the Most High with Job. If you take this away from him, he's going to curse you to his face. Yeah. He said, make Gabar Khan uncomfortable. Watch him turn his back on him. So every morning you get up and it ain't going right, you tell Satan, I still praise the Most High. I still praise the Most High. Because weapons of this world can't do nothing to me. Because that is your fight. Your fight is not with flesh and blood, but it's against principalities, man. Things that you don't see that are being made manifest before your eyes. And if you don't understand the war that you're fighting, then you are already lost.
Yeah.
That's how serious it is right now. They are preparing you to turn your back on the Most High. That's what this whole setup is.
Yeah.
To put you in a predicament where you turn your back on the Most High and lean to some other source. You know, they had the bombers in Boston, and now they're talking about, taking civil liberties. All that is about taking you away from the Most High. What are you willing to give up? For what? Safety. I'm willing to give up a damn thing. But I'm willing to get deeper into what the Most High have required us to do. So read that again. My soul
shall make her boast in the Most High. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad.
See, the humble. See, a part of that processing and change is
Humbling yourself.
the Most High will humble you. See, pride is the beginning of sin. Pride will lead you straight to hell. And believe it or not, all of us got pride in us. Don't even, I'm not even going to sit up here and pretend like I don't have it. All of us got pride in us. Because all of us want it our way. Okay? So if you want it your way, then that's some sense of pride, because you feel in your mind that my way is best. But the Most High shows us every day that no, it's not. It's not that way. So the true fear of the Most High is willing to free fall. See, we don't do that, man. I'm starting to learn to just free fall. And what that means is just give it to the Most High. Just give it to Him. But in the same sense, I continue to strive towards what I want for Him to do for me. But I give it to Him. Okay? Read on.
Oh, magnify Yahweh with me.
And that's what we're here tonight. We're going to magnify the Most High. Okay? Let's go to the book of, stay in the book of Psalms. Go to 111. First verse. Psalms 111, verse 1.
Psalms 111 and 1.
Go ahead.
Praise ye Yahweh. I will praise Yahweh with my whole heart.
With my whole heart. Meaning with what? With your mind. You got to meditate on this. And that's what Joshua said. Meditate day and night. On what? On the laws, the statutes, the commandments. Meditate. This is how you keep the evilness out of your system. This is how you keep envy and jealousy, by meditating on the righteousness of the Most High. Because what you're going to start to see is, it's going to be easy to do evil the closer we get to the end of this. You think it's easy now. It's going to be almost, third nature. Because every state is honoring, same-sex marriage. Everything that they're promoting is towards everything that the Most High stands for. And to be in is to be against all those things that the Most High stand for. But the sad part about it is, it becomes a lawless society. Murder, rape. And the more that they take from the poor, the worse that is going to get. So that fear of the Most High, you're going to have to understand that you're going to need that fear of the Most High just to survive. Not the fear of man, but the fear of the Most High. Read that from the beginning.
Praise ye Yahweh. I will praise Yahweh with my whole heart, in the assembly of the upright and in the congregation.
And that's what we're going to do. See, when we come together, we need to be praising the Most High. It's good to be informed about what's going on, but it's more to be informed about the Most High. We need to be having more conversation about the things that the Most High have done to get me to be here tonight versus those things that are happening in the world that have prevented me from doing the things that I want to do. Because it's a fight to get here.
Come.
It's a spiritual battle. Constantly set up traps to keep you from getting here. And even when you're here, you're fighting to stay up, right? Fighting to stay up. But I guarantee you, if you was anywhere else other than in the place where the Most High word is being spoken, you'll be alert. That's Satan.
Wow.
You got to understand the spiritual battle. Go to Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha real quick. And while you're getting that, read that opening statement for me.
A truth fully taught in the scriptures and verified in personal experience by countless numbers of holy men and women through the centuries might be condensed thus in a religious axiom.
Read.
No one can know the true grace of Yahweh who has not first known the fear of Yahweh.
See, nobody can know the true grace of the Most High until you fear the Most High. I mean, you don't really truly understand the level of love that the Most High has for us until you start to accept the truth of the Most High. You don't need nothing else, man. You don't need no extras. You don't have to worry about tomorrow, living in today. You don't have to worry about tomorrow when you fear the Most High. Because that is going to always align you to what the Most High have promised us that He have not reneged on since the beginning of time. He would never put no more on you than what you can handle. So if you feeling like you can't handle what it is that the Most High is taking you through, then you calling the Most High a liar. Read Ecclesiastes 2:1.
Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation.
See, nobody told you that when you walked through the door. When you heard the brothers speaking out there in the street, nobody told you, well, when you come to the Sabbath service next week, prepare yourself. Every morning you wake up, you're supposed to prepare yourself for what lies ahead. You seen that cartoon, Pink in the Brain?
Yeah.
At the end of every show, what it say? What are you going to do tomorrow? Say the same thing I did today. Take over the world. So every morning you wake up, guess what? Satan's agenda is to what? To defile you. To tempt you. So when he said prepare your soul, you have to prepare yourself when you get up in the morning. You got to prepare yourself for what? All these things, these fiery dots that are going to be thrown at you. In the form of a man, in the form of a woman, in the form of children. You have to prepare yourself for that. Knowing that I'm not talking to that person, I'm talking to that spirit, and realize what it is. I'm not even entertaining that. Satan, you got to come better than that. Because the main objective is to take you out of your character in order for you to perform to its character. How many times you've been completely thrown off by something unexpected? Now you can't focus. It's Satan, man. It's Satan. But we saw it because it came from a kid, or it came from a woman, or it came from our spouse, that they just nagging us. They just being a nag. But no, those are spirits. You got to be aware of these spirits, because if you don't, they're going to take you down. Read on.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Say what?
Set thy heart aright.
So you got to set your own heart aright, man. If you are in here and you don't have an objective, then you lost. If you're in here and you don't know what your purpose is, then you lost. Satan got a hold of you. Because if you're in here, you're supposed to know what your purpose is. That says that you haven't developed that relationship with the Most High. So it says that prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart, thy mind aright. Meaning get right with the Most High. Tell the Most High the truth. Let the Most High know what He already knows about you. Come clean. Confess. So we walk around like we're perfect. We walk around like we never did anything. Like we're never going to do anything. But every day we come short of the glory of the Most High. But yet we're quick to try to condemn somebody else. As if we're holier than thou. Set your mind right, man. Because if we focus more on what it is we're supposed to be doing for the Most High, we wouldn't be concerned about what everybody else is doing. Or the like of what everybody else is doing. This is about us. That's the whole purpose of all of these books pertaining to Israel. It's about us. And it ain't about none of those nations. It's about us, the 12 tribes. That's the only family the Most High cares about. The only family the Most High cares about. The only family that He allowed His only begotten Son to die so that we can be saved. Nobody else can claim that. No matter how they try to twist history, how they try to write new editions of books, the bottom line is it still belongs to us. So it says, set your heart aright. Read on.
And constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble.
See, make not haste in time of troubles. How many of you got troubles right now? Huh? Don't be bashful. Because if you ain't got trouble, then who are you? So make not haste in trouble. When the Most High said constantly endure, that means wake up every morning with a smile, even though it feels like the walls are caving in.
Take it cheerfully.
That's a tough one. I read it. It's what I have learned, and I'm dealing with my own struggles, because right now I'm happy because I understand much is given, much is required. I understand that, but it doesn't stop the level of stress. It doesn't stop the burden that you feel when you're carrying something heavy, even though you give it to the Most High. It doesn't stop that. The flesh doesn't always agree with the spirit. That's why Paul was saying that, that was his fight. His flesh constantly reminded him that, I know the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's the reason why we have to get into the prayer. We have to get into the meditation. Because that relieves the body of what the spirit can't do for the body. You understand? Because you can't be hasty in trouble, man. The bottom line is, however long the Most High have granted for that thing to be with you, that's what it's going to be. But it's a greater purpose to your troubles. You have to go back and look at what you're praying for. So if you're praying for something great, then guess what? Your troubles are going to be equally as great. Because He's trying to get you in a position where when I give you this blessing, you know how to walk with it. You know how to talk about it. You know how to be a replica of it. But if I give you this based off who you are right now, then I'll be foolish. That's just like a parent giving a kid a new car when he know the first time that they get their friends in it, they're not going to pay attention. Most likely they're going to have an accident. So what you do, you go get them something that you don't really care about. So they bang it up, then all right, I expected that. Or you make them work for it. So they can do what? Appreciate it when they get it. The Most High is going to make us work to get out of the trouble that we're in, man. It's more than just praying. What is that? Faith without works is what?
Dead.
You got to know what your purpose is. And just reading prayers is not going to deliver you. Understand that. Just opening up the book and reading 186, reading the 121st Psalm is not going to deliver you out of your troubles. You got to get into what it is that the Most High want from you. It says that, sit thou hard aright, constantly endure, make not haste in trouble. Read on.
Cleave unto him.
You got to cleave to the Most High. When you cleave to anything, you're doing what?
Stay close, holding on.
You're holding on. Holding on for dear life. This is how you got to respond to the Most High. You got to hold on to this thing like your life depended on it. Because guess what?
It does.
It does. So do you really fear the Most High? Knowing that this is your only option out of trouble? A lot of us are nonchalant about this thing. Because if you understood that the Most High was your only option out, then your appreciation for what He have done and will do for you would be greater. Come? So we have to be a reflection of what is truth. So when we sit and we talk, we have to be a reflection of what is true, man. We have to be that example of adoring all those things that come at us without running, without fleeing, without giving up the ghosts. Because most people catch hell in Israel, they're gone. Because they blame the truth. Read on.
Cleave unto him and depart not away.
So depart not away. I don't care how bad it get. Don't depart from the Most High. How many of you are in here catching it? And you feel like, I can't take another day of this. Huh? How many of you feel like you're ready to end? You're ready to break?
Yeah, being in this society.
Huh? But you got to understand, right when you think that you're about to end, that's when the Most High brings your blessing. You got to understand this. And the reason why I'm going into this is because the Most High is showing me that I'm not the only person. We quietly as kept, we smiling, shalom, brother. But deep down inside, every time you hit your chest, you feel like crying. If you don't, you will soon. See, a lot of young brothers that got some years under their belts now. Like a war. Brother got years on his belt now. WI got years on his belt now. Yeah. Walking through the flames. That's what it's about. Sisters, you're not exempt from this. You ain't exempt from this. Trust me. That's why it's important that we understand what the true fear of the Most High is. Get me Psalms 33 and 8. Psalms 33 and 8.
Psalms 33 and verse 8. Let all the earth fear Yahweh. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spake, and it was done. He commanded, and it was stood fast. Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. The counsel of Yahweh standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose power is Yahweh.
You hear what he says?
Come.
All of their devices come to what?
No.
So no matter what it is that they're trying to do in their think tanks, all the things that they're trying to do to destroy us, the Most High says is going to come to naught, man. But that is understanding what the Most High is about. We got to understand that we can't just be speaking this, but we have to live it and believe it. Because you will be put to the test. And hopefully you can give a good testimony when that day comes. Read that one more time, Mark.
From the top,
Yeah.
verse 8. Let all the earth fear Yahweh. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spake, and it was done.
So he spake and it was done, man. Now how great is that? You go to the Most High. He speak, it is done. What problems do you really have? What troubles do you really have? The only problem is accepting the change that the Most High is bringing to your life. That's the problem, because we're so comfortable being who we are that we don't want to be what the Most High wants us to be, or we don't want to go through the change to get to where the Most High is trying to take us. That's one thing about our people. We hate change. We don't want to change. We want to get out of the ghetto, but we don't want to really leave the ghetto. We want to be rich, but we really don't want to work that hard. So the Most High is telling us. Okay, read on.
He commanded, and it stood fast. Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught.
So he bring the counsel of the heathens to naught. Read.
He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. The counsel of Yahweh standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose power is Yahweh.
Blessed is the nation whose power is the Most High. So you're supposed to know this, that the power of the Most High is a blessing unto you, man. But we have to walk in that spirit. We have to walk in that light. Regardless of our circumstances. Okay, drop that. Go to Psalm 76. Psalm 76 and 7.
Psalms chapter 76 and verse 7. Thou, even thou art to be feared, and who may stand in the sight when once thou art angry? Thou didst cause judgment to be heard from heaven. The earth feared and was still. When the power arose to judgment, to save all the meek of the earth, Selah. Surely the wrath of man shall praise thee. The remainder of wrath shalt thou restrain. Vow and pay unto the Most High your power.
You got the what?
Vow and pay unto the Most High your power.
You have to pay to the Most High for the things that the Most High is doing that you don't even see. Don't you know if it was up to this society, we all would be incarcerated right now?
Come.
It was up to this society that it would be totally against the law for us to be out speaking on the streets.
Come.
If it's up to this society, the Bible would be banned right now as a terrorist book.
Come.
But don't think this is not what they're trying to do. They just don't know how to go about it, that they don't cause an uproar of the people. They want to do everything in a gradual form. And that's part of them taking away the civil liberty. So that you're so terrified about what can happen that you allow anything to happen. So this is how we're going to get to that point where it ain't going to be fashionable for us to teach this anymore. So you got to see where this thing is headed. It ain't going to be fashionable for us to be out on the streets anymore. Because once they take away civil liberties, that means they take away your civil rights. Then the prophecy of the Bible started to come to pass now. Now you start to see, okay, how are they going to get to the point where they will not allow us to teach anymore? You don't have civil rights anymore. They can label you as a threat to society. Who's going to stand up if you're a threat to society? Nobody. Especially if you are a so-called black threat to society. See, the fear of the Most High is going to come in you one way or the other. Because see, martial law, all these things are coming. But if you don't got the fear of the Most High, you will have fear of the nations. And their devices. And their trickery. You will have fear in that. Because what it's going to come down to, they're going to put out and they're going to tell you, if you don't do this, this is going to be the repercussion of it. But what the Most High said. That's the bottom line. What the Most High said. See, this is where we're coming to. So that real fear of the Most High, you got to understand it. It comes with a price. It may come with your freedom. It may even come with your life. It comes with a price. Come?
Come.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible. 3:14.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 14. I know that whatsoever the power doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And the power doeth it, that men should fear it before him.
Right, so whatever the Most High does, he said he do it for what? Forever.
He do it.
Forever. So he made Israel his people. For what? Forever. Can't nobody take that away from us. So you have to understand what the Most High have laid down. No man can take away from us, man. But if I can put enough fear in your heart, I can separate you from your power. See, the only way that our people will separate themselves from the Most High is by the fear of the unknown. And the fear of the unknown is what the so-called white man and the nation bring to you to take you away from the Most High. But if you don't know the fear of the Most High, then you won't know which one is greater. What this man say that he can do to you, or what the Most High says that he can do for you. Which one you going to believe in? Because what was done in the past is going to bring itself right back to the present, man. We're going to be right back where we were standing before Moses. This day I sit before you, life and death. Choose. Soon you're going to be making life and death decisions based off your faith and based off your fear of the Most High. Mark these words. Everything this man does, he does in a gradual state. Before he did the final bombing of 9/11, he did a test run. See how the people respond. And all these little events, the Boston bombing, all these little events, all these are test runs to see what kind of response he get from the people. The movie theaters, all of that is test runs to see what kind of response he get from the people. To see if they are ready to submit. And believe it or not, they damn near ready to submit. They did a poll earlier this week. about how many, they say 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10 are willing to give up their civil liberty for safety.
40%.
So they're like, all right, 40%. All right, we're going to do 2 more runs. We're going to do 2 more runs. We're going to be right. They testing the damn water to see. But where the Roman Catholic Church at? Huh? Where the Baptist Church at telling them about, don't worry about that, the Most High will take care of you. Ain't nobody standing up telling them what the truth of the matter is. I mean, in the book of the New World Order, it tells you what? Steel against steel. Organized confusion, man. Organized damn confusion. So they make it so bad that you want to give up everything that your forefathers and died for. Read that again, huh?
Ecclesiastes in the Bible 3 and 14. I know that whatsoever the power doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it.
See, nothing can be put to it or taken away from it. What is written in this book? It's what it is. It ain't no devices that man come up with is going to change the outcome of what the Most High said is going to happen. Damn nations are going into captivity. Okay? A portion of our people are going to be sacrificial lambs for the rest to make it. Whether you like it or not. And he said right before the end it's going to be so unbearable that what? You wish you was dead. He said the righteous will scarcely make it. See, what is written in this is perfect in its own. Then he told one prophet, tell them what man desired the day of the Lord. What benefit is it for you? Now, we praying for the day of the Lord, but do you really fear the Most High to understand what you're praying for? What's the old tune the Benjamites be singing? Said, every man want heaven, but man scared to die. Something like that.
Oh, Peter Tosh. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
Nobody wants to die. See, this thing right here, this is life within itself, man. You got to understand that the Most High is alive and well.
Khan.
This ain't no fictitious book. And the spirit that evolves around this here follow orders strictly according to the Most High's will. So you'll be a damn fool not to get in line with the will of the Most High and those spirits that controls everything that the Most High orders. So if you got problems, instead of going to the side or going to the left, going to the right, you go directly to the Most High. That's why Yahweh Shai died, so he can give you that what? In his name you ask, it shall be given unto you. Do you believe it though?
Khan.
We quiet.
Khan.
Quiet. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9.
Bible.
In the Bible. Come.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and 9.
Yeah.
The thing that has been, it is that which shall be.
Say what?
The thing that has been, it is the thing which shall be.
So ain't nothing that is going on right now that hasn't happened. Guess what? You've been in the same situation before. Fighting the same damn spirits. The names just changed. Went from Lucifer to Satan, Beelzebub. Name just changed. Same demon. Same plot. Same plan. Is to take away who the Most High gave unto Yahushua. That's what it's about. It's all about really trying to get to Yahushua. And we're just pawns in the game right now. Because he knows that Yahushua loved us to the point that he died. And if he messed with us enough, Yahushua would come. But the damn fool don't understand that. That's part of prophecy. Yahushua is going to come. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Read on, man.
And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Read.
Is there anything whereof thou mayest say, see, this is new?
See, this is new. Homosexuality. Is it new? Lesbianism. Is it new? It's from the beginning of time. Bestiality. False teachers. Huh? None of these things are new, man. And all nations had their devices, right? To try to what? Try to overturn the Most High plan. Egypt had their devices, right? They thought that they were greater than the Israelites, even though when they had them in captivity. Guess what? We're in captivity now. We're in Egypt again. And our slave masters think that they're greater than us because they got some devices. But they haven't seen the Most High play his hand yet. Just like Egypt didn't see the Most High play his hand into what? Into the end. Until what? It was time for us to be delivered. There's nothing new under the face of the sun, man. But what was one of the key points during the time when we was in Egypt? About faith. It was one instruction that was given to the people that determined whether they lived or died. Very simple instruction. Anybody remember? What was it up?
Make bricks without hay.
Make bricks without hay. Picture that. Making bricks without hay. And then the final instruction that was given before everybody laid their head down to sleep. And if you didn't believe, you woke up or you didn't wake up. To put that blood on the door. Put that blood on the door and then what? The death angel won't come upon you. See, these simple instructions would be the difference between you living and you dying. Your fear of the Most High. So those that really didn't have the fear of the Most High, like, put no blood on the door. Now they standing in the presence of the Most High. Like, I didn't really understand. You're going to get simple instructions on what you're supposed to do. And if you don't fear the Most High in that day, you're going to brush it off. So you better understand what the fear of the Most High is. And respond when the time is to respond. Okay? Read note number 1 for me.
Growth takes knowledge.
See what it say? Growth takes knowledge, man. In order for you to grow, it takes the knowledge of the Most High. Because every man in here came in here in one form, and now they're transformed into something totally different by the growth and the knowledge of the Most High. Okay? Go ahead.
When we talk about sanctification, we must emphasize knowledge. Sanctification is not a list of steps or self-help principles that we can check off. It calls for great knowledge to know how to walk with Yahweh. through the diverse circumstances of life.
See, this is where we at. You know, these circumstances that we all face. Proverbs 1 and 7. These circumstances that we all face, man. And I keep emphasizing that fear. Because if you don't have the fear that I'm not doing what the Most High requires me to do, or I'm letting my Father down, then you really don't understand the reward that comes from that. The last thing you want is the Most High to humble you, man. Trust me. Proverbs 1, 7. Read that.
Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge.
Say what?
The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge.
So the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. Pride is the beginning of what?
Destruction.
Destruction. Death. So you can't have two of those entities in you. You can't be angry and happy. Right? You can't be humble and proud. You can't fear the Most High and despise His laws. It's not doable. So he says what? Read it again.
The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom.
So fools despise wisdom, man. And what is a fool? Hold on. Give me Psalms 14 and 1. Psalms 14 and 1. And then we're coming right back over.
Psalms 14 and 1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no power.
See, that's a fool. It ain't no power. I don't believe in this. Even though I'm here every Sabbath. I'm going to do it my way this time. What it say? The fool says in his heart, what?
There is no power.
Read.
They are corrupt. They have done abominable works.
And that's what a fool is. They despise the knowledge of the Most High. Even after you have what? You have spoken unto them, counsel unto them. And we all have been fools here and there. I remember a lot of foolish things I did in the truth. Convinced myself that I'm entitled to this because I put in work. The Most High quickly humbled me. See, this knowledge, once you get it, it can be poison, man. Because it pulls you out of a circumstance where, you know, you was frail, uncertain, and then all of a sudden you start getting all this knowledge, you start getting this understanding, and now you standing tall, but you don't realize you're not standing tall on your own merits, you're standing tall on the shoulders of Yahweh. But you think you're out there by yourself. You know, I can break down the book of Revelations. I'm this, I'm that. You don't even speak of the Most High no more. There was a time that, man, I was a hell of a street teacher. Loved it. Got proud, though. You know? Got proud, man. Was, read. Yeah, I wish somebody would. And got full of myself, and the Most High said, all right, I see you. Man, let me take this away from you. Yeah, Mr. Street Speaker, how about that? Oh, you still ain't listening? Okay, let me take that away from you. Yeah, Mr. Street Speaker. So you're praying now. I don't hear you. I'm going to turn my back on you for a little bit. Keep on. Yeah, I can tell you when the Most High humbled me. Hell, I lost a car, I lost a job. Hell, I lost 2 jobs. How the hell you lose 2 jobs before you even get... I mean, he whooped my butt. I realized what it was. I ain't have nothing to be proud of. But I had something to be proud to speak on. That was the Most High.
Come.
So from that day, I realized that anything that I wanted to stand up and speak about, I had to include him. See, that's that fear. Now you can learn fear one way or the other. You can learn it by him taking something away from you. Or you can learn just by reading and understand, I don't want that to happen to me. But 9 times out of 10, we stubborn. Stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious, right, Ben? Yeah. That's Israel, cunt.
Come.
So 9 times out of 10, he's going to have to take something away from you. Something that's close to your heart. Something that you got a lot of passion for.
Come.
So that you can understand that this ain't to be played with. He's no joke. He's alive. He's listening. And he's watching. And if you don't straighten up soon, then you'll be something that we used to know. Con?
Come.
Go back to the Apocrypha real quick. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Ecclesiastes 2 and 4.
Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha chapter 2 and verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
That's what the brother was saying. So take cheerfully. Now how can you take cheerfully? You know, you got to picture Job. I mean, Job had all these great, he had land, he had riches beyond belief. He had the family, he had the kids, he had all these things. And the Most High decided to use Job as an example of what an Israelite's supposed to be in this life. It's to Satan. I hear what you're saying, but you ain't consider Job, did you? Now, Job is an upright man. Guess what? We all are under that Job circumstances. But Satan said, hey, what about that brother right there? Let me do something to him. Anything, Lord. And trust me, these conversations happen in the spiritual realm. What they can do to you and what they can't do to you. Satan doesn't have power to move on his own.
Come.
He has to get authority from the Most High. He has to get sanction from the Most High. So when something happens to you, know that it was sanctioned from the Most High. It didn't just happen. So you have to ask yourself, damn, what the hell I do to the Most High now? That's fear. But see, we don't acknowledge it because we become so worldly that we don't understand that all these things are telltale signs that the Most High is working. Either if you're doing something wrong or you're doing something right. He's working. So read that again for me.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
To be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. What brings you to a lower state? When your comfortable life has been changed to an unbearable life. You wake up, you are uncertain. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You have no idea how you're going to pay your bills. You can get brought down to a very low estate. That's the Most High doing. So if you're at a lower state right now, then you need to find out what it is that the Most High is trying to show you. But you don't have to resort to the things that the world say for you to do when you get in a lower state. You don't have to go sell drugs. You don't have to do all those things. You constantly put yourself in a position where the Most High can bless you. But you have to acknowledge what it is that you have done wrong in the sight of the Most High. Reflection. Paul said, examine yourself to see whether you're in the truth or not, are you in the faith or not. So you have to examine yourself to see, have I done everything that the Most High requires me to do? Why am I in this circumstance? Because sometimes we continue to do the same damn thing over and over again and wondering why we're getting the same results. Like, how I end up back here? You only did this for the 99th time. You haven't changed. The Most High said you can't put new wine in an old bottle. So how the Most High is going to bless you with a new spirit when you're still trying to operate out that old bottle? You still want to be that old man, that old woman. You got to be renewed in your spirit. So he said when you're being brought to a lower state, still be patient. Read.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
See now, what is the key word in this here?
Fire.
Fire? Nope.
Gold.
Gold? Nope. Try? Nope.
Acceptable.
Acceptable. Not everybody's acceptable that is being tried. Read that again.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Acceptable men. And what make them acceptable? Read.
Believe in him.
They that believe in him. So no matter how low they go, they still believe in him. That's what made them acceptable. See, circumstances didn't change them. Circumstances didn't change their faith or their belief. That's why Job was the example. Circumstances didn't change Job. If anything, it made him stronger. It made him have more belief in the Most High. So circumstances shouldn't change you. It should motivate you to become better, not worse. Come? Read on.
Believe in him, and he will help thee.
Say what?
Believe in him, and he will help thee.
Read on.
Order thy way aright.
See, you got to order your way aright. It starts with you first. When it say order your way aright, what is it saying, huh?
Put yourself in a position.
You got to force yourself to come out of that sluggish mindset, that rugged. You know, when all of us, me and a brother was talking earlier during the week. When you're going through things, man, you're struggling, you're battling. It's like you become sluggish. You know, it's almost like you're having an out-of-body experience. Your mind knows exactly what you need to be doing, but your body ain't caught up with your mind. So you're standing there, you're sitting there like, man, I know I need to make this phone call, I need to go do this here, but your body is like, man, I'm beat. I'm defeated. So that's that struggle between the spirit and the flesh. So when you're going through that, you got to order yourself aright, man. You got to gird up your loins and be like, no, I'm not having this spirit on me. I'm not having this spirit on me. I'm going out and I'm going to do what the Most High requires me to do. Damn what the circumstances are. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do, all right, I need to do this, I need to do that. I'm going to do it regardless. So the Most High says to order yourself aright. That's the only way that you're going to get the ball rolling. Read on.
And trust in him.
You got to trust in the Most High, man. Once you order yourself aright, you go out there and do what you have to do. Long as you did your part, trust and believe that the Most High is going to take care of his end. Trust and believe. So when the day is over, Say, hey, look, boom, I did what I had to do. Boom, I'm going to leave it up to the Most High. And one of my things I say to myself is, you know, I leave it up to the Most High, and I pray that He give me the strength to handle whatever His will is. Because what I want out of this may not be what He want out of it for me right now. So I'm not going to set myself up to be so disappointed that I'm not going to believe in the Most High anymore. But I'm going to let myself know that the Most High may not want this for me, even though I feel like this is the best thing for me right now. The Most High may see something I don't see and say, no, I'm not giving that to you right now. And see, we will something so much that when the Most High don't give it to us, we lose faith. But not understanding that the Most High may not want that for you. You got to trust in the Most High. His thoughts are not your thoughts. His ways are not your ways. So a lot of things we have in our life right now, we're holding on to. The Most High don't want you to have it. That's why you're struggling. He got something side up over here for you, but you can't get to it because you're still holding on to that old stuff. That old way of thinking, that old life. It's rough, man, because we all go through it. We all got baggage. Things that we don't want to let go of because we think that, you know, I can't live without this. Nah, man. With the Most High, you can live with anything. Come? Read on.
Ye that fear the Most High, wait for His mercy.
Say, he that fear the Most High, wait for His mercy. It ain't telling you to wait and do nothing. Order yourself aright. Do what you have to do. And then wait on the Most High to deliver. That's what that mercy is. Him delivering you out of whatever it is that you're going through. And sometimes they are small deliverance, man. You got to understand how the Most High operates. He gives you a little bit here to let you know I'm with you.
Right.
And that gives you a spark that's like, man, all right, I got to keep going. Because if He gave it all to you at one time, then what you going to do? You're going to go back being lax. So the Most High gives you sparks to let you know that I heard you. I got you. Keep fighting now. Keep fighting. And then Satan comes. He hit you with this, hit you with that, hit you with that. And you were like, man, I can't. Every time I get happy, here goes. And then you come to the what? You come to the service. And then you get rejuvenated to go back out there and fight. So that's why it's so important that you come to the services. This is where you get your juice from. This is where you get your energy from to go back out in the world and fight. That's why I say we struggle to get in here, man. Satan set this thing up so that we can get away from our power. This is our power source right here. With 3 or more gathered in my name, so shall I be also. Read.
And go not aside, lest ye fall.
Say what?
And go not aside, lest ye fall.
Read on.
Ye that fear the Most High, believe in Him, and your reward shall not fail.
Say your what?
Your reward shall not fail.
So your reward is not going to fail, man. He give you pieces and bits to see how you receive it, to see how you are dealing with it. And sooner or later, He's going to be like, he's ready. She's ready. Let me give her that whole blessing. Boom. Because you have accepted the small blessings, acknowledged the small blessings, and continued to fight. Now He's ready to give you what? The reward. See, the reward is what's going to change your life. The reward is going to make you have testimonies. See, reward have you crying in the middle of the night. Because you know only the Most High was able to do that for you.
Con.
It wasn't your education. It wasn't who you knew. It wasn't about the car you drove, the neighborhood you lived in. It was because of the mercies of the Most High. And when you realize that and it happened to you, testimony. It make a grown man cry. I ain't telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. But it starts with that fear of the Most High. Come? Read on, huh?
Ye that fear the Most High, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy.
That's it. So now go to Psalms 27. We're going to end it up with that. Psalms 27, let's start at the first verse.
Psalms 27 and 1.
Go ahead.
The Most High is my light.
Say what?
The Most High is my light.
So if the Most High is your light, say come. So the Most High is your light, say come. Now check what he says now. The Most High is my light, read.
And my salvation. Whom shall I fear?
Whom shall you fear? What man in the flesh should you fear if the Most High is your light? Huh? You got a job interview, you go to the Most High first. He said, I will make your enemies
Be at peace with you.
be at peace with you. You dealing with the circumstances, you go to the Most High before you go to your lawyer. Huh? And the Most High will what? Allow whatever your heart desire to come to pass. I don't care if it's family court, housing court. Because we're all going through all of these things, come?
Con.
Okay. Like I said, I ain't telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. I remember when I had to go to court for something, even the judge looked at me like, what just happened? I said, hallelujah. Read it again, huh?
Yahweh is my light
Go
and
ahead.
my salvation. Whom shall I fear?
Read.
Yahweh is the strength of my life.
The strength of my life. See, this is where you get that internal strength. When he says to order yourself aright, you get it from here. That's that internal strength. That knowing that, you know what? The Most High ain't bring me this for to fail.
Con.
Damn what they say. He didn't bring me all the way here so that I can fall on my face. That is not the Most High. That's Satan. Get behind me, dude. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week. This is where you get your strength from. This is the internal strength that you need to get yourself up when Satan will knock you down. Now, I'm going to tell you that Satan can throw some hard blows. He'll knock the wind right out you now. A man look like you ready to testify.
That's what they fear.
He don't play fair at all, man. He don't play fair at all, man. Satan talk about your mama, man. I'm telling you, man. You walk out the door and nonchalant, Satan and slap the hell out of you, man. You're like, what? Your father sent me. Yeah, man. He don't play fair. He don't play fair. That's why you got to gird up your loins, boy. They out there, man. They lurking. They sitting like, yeah. Like, Father, please. I mean, you know, just let me just hit him one time.
Hit him and run.
Hit him and run. You know? And they hit him and run, and it don't be like what you think, because it's happening in a spiritual sense. You know, hit him and run, and be like, you know, knock on your door and serve you papers. You're like, what the hell is this? Like, yo, now your whole day is ruined. You know, that's how Satan do it. He you know, you get a damn eviction notice. You're like, what the? Oh, this is not this again. You know? Read that again. Ben said he don't play fair. 27 and where we at? 2?
2.
Read that again.
Read one again.
Yeah, read 1 straight through. 1. Yep.
Yahweh is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Yahweh is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?
Read.
When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh.
And this is what Ben is talking about. He don't play fair. So when he comes to do these things unto you, go ahead.
They stumbled and fell.
They stumbled and fell. Because they can't get the fullness of what they're trying to bring. What they want to do, they want to take you out. But they hit you, you stumble. I mean, I'm looking at your face. Your spirit don't lie. A lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. You're going to be walking home tonight scratching your head. Like, man, I wonder if that's true what he was saying. Now, which way is the east again? I mean, y'all look at, yeah, I'm going to tell you. All right, what I'm about to say, you just say comment if I'm right or wrong. I cried to this brother for damn near 2 years.
Con?
I'm telling you, I ain't caught a break yet. I ain't gonna say I haven't caught a break. I've been getting those, you know, like, I'm with you. You see I'm with you. Like, yeah. But what's gonna happen tomorrow? You got to stay tuned. I walk out the door. I'm like, man, I walk out the door. I look both ways, man. Like, what the hell? But I'm gonna show you something though. Last Tuesday. Yeah, was it last Tuesday? Yeah, it was last Tuesday. I'm coming home. Just picked my son up from school. Driving, coming down the hill. I see this smoke. I'm like, oh man. Like fire. Boom. I get to the bottom of the hill. I was just, wait. Damn, that looked like it's by my house. And actually, I thought it was my house. And then I get to the block. Oh man, you got to be kidding me. I turned into the driveway. 2 houses on the other side of me. I'm talking, when you talk about fire, I'm talking like the flames were like, they was talking, man. And the fire jumped from one house to the next house. And if the garage and the house behind me would have caught on fire, my garage would have caught on fire. The most I had the fire truck to pull right in my driveway. This big Edomite gets out. They plug up the thing. He said, you don't have to worry, we got you. He's spraying my house, he's spraying the garage, he's spraying the car. He said, y'all just go and come back a little later, all right? I'm like, all right. Hallelujah. Now, the fire was at 6 o'clock. They didn't get that thing under control until 11 o'clock that night. So, blessings, the Most High is in the business of watching over us. And we have to let others know that the Most High will watch over you. But you have to be mindful and don't think that the Most High ain't out there to protect you. So, the enemy, he was right in my front yard, spraying my house down. Just like this, and I'm like, man. I told the girl, I said, I got a new respect for firemen because they ran into that fire like it was nobody business, brother. I'm serious. And this thing was like, when they said fire talk, I mean, the most I had the wind was blowing this way. When it was over, the wind was blowing that way. And the house on the other side caught on fire. You know, nobody got hurt, but it's still a sad situation when you look and see people, you know, they homeless in the whole 9 yards, but it's that fear again. Just like this here, man, something can go and change your life forever. And you have to understand that the only thing that controls that is the Most High. That's the only thing that controls that. The Most High could have said, Angel, just take that on over there. He ain't been listening. I mean, teach him a lesson. See, all of us are one step away from the Most High, just backing back and letting Satan have his way. That's how real this is that we're dealing with. That fear of the Most High will save your life and your family. Okay? Jump from there. We're still in the 27th chapter, but I want to go ahead and finish this up. Jump to jump to the 11th verse.
Verse 11. Teach me thy ways, O Yahweh, and lead me in a plain path, because of my enemies. Deliver me not over unto the will of my enemies.
Right, so the will of our enemies, you know, we automatically jump to the nation, but who is our first enemy?
Also.
Nah. Our first enemy is damn Satan. You got to understand, he's the force behind these nations. Okay? He's the forces behind them. So when the Most High, when it said, deliver us from our enemies, deliver us from Satan. Because he's the force that behind them. He's giving them the fuel. Because what? He's jumped from one nation to the next. All you got to do is read the Bible through the captivities, right? Everywhere you wanted to find Satan, all you had to do is find out who was in rulership. And bow, there he is. Brand new. Then it didn't matter was he was a Hamite, right? It didn't matter. All right? So read that again.
Deliver me not over unto the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me.
So those false witnesses, they're constantly out there, brother. And they're rising up against us to who? The Most High. They're going to the Most High saying that we don't deserve this. We're not worthy of this. We don't deserve to be delivered. Because we broke his laws. So these are the false witnesses in a spiritual sense, but then on a physical plane, you got these false witnesses out here that's talking evil about us. That we're a hate group. We're a terrorist threat. So you got them on both sides, in the spiritual realm and on a physical plane. Okay, read.
And such as breathe out cruelty. I had fainted, unless I had believed to see the goodness of Yahweh in the land of the living.
You see what King David said? He said he would have fainted, man. Based on all the pressure that was brought upon him. All these different circumstances, if he didn't believe in the Most High. In the land of the living. Not after he's dead, but in the land of the living. You have to understand that a lot of us almost give up the ghost because of all these circumstances under us. But the Most High is in the land of the living, man. And he will do what? He will deliver you. Read on.
Wait on Yahweh.
He said you got to wait on him now. You got to wait on him. You can't do it based on your own terms. Go ahead.
Be of good courage.
But you got to be a fighter too. Can't be no chump. Paul said what? He said, I was a good soldier. I fought a good fight. You got to fight a good fight. You can't be caving in. Soon as you start to catch hell, now all of a sudden you don't believe the Most High no more. Nah, man, the Most High ain't dealing with that. Yahweh said that those that stood bold and stiff, you got to stand up, man. The angel came to say, gird up your loins, stand like a man. Go for your sisters too. I mean, you sisters, y'all need to check the history now. They had some sisters that they were cold. Even Paul said that, hey, you know, they were almost on sainthood because of the work that they did. So this was a family thing. It's a family business right here.
Club.
So everybody have to know what their purpose is. And once you know your purpose, then you can uplift the Most High the way he's supposed to be lifted. He said, but be of good courage. Read.
And he shall strengthen thine heart.
See, when you be of good courage, he's going to strengthen your mind. Because that's what the devil wants. If he can get in your head, make you believe that something is when it ain't, he got you. That's what he's doing today, right? He got in their head that guess what? You better give up your civil liberties so we can protect you from the next terrorist attack.
Come.
And they got people believing that these guys are running around with a backpack
With a pressure cooker.
with a pressure cooker. And they had more. Like, really? I mean, you couldn't come up with something a little bit more creative than damn pressure cookers? But yet they bought it. They bought it. I mean, give me a break. He said, be of good courage, man, so he can strengthen your mind. Read.
Wait, I say, on your house.
So you got to wait on the Most High. So I just want to say, in the spirit of the Most High, I hope you was edified.
Water.
And, you know, I know we constantly are saying this, but it's true. Every day that you awaken, we're one day closer to what? Salvation.
Salvation.
So let's keep, you know, stressing the point that the fear of the Most High is the greatest fear that you can have, but it's a clean fear. You understand? It's a clean fear. It's a righteous fear. It's the same fear that you would have for your biological parents. When you don't want to disappoint them, you want to please them, but you fear the rules that they lay down. That's the same thing you have to do for your Father in heaven. Okay? So with that, I say shalom. Enjoy the rest of your Sabbath.
Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Yahweh Yahweh Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Yahweh Yahweh Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one.